Here's what really went on inside the institutes. How the Baba targeted his own. What's even scarier, despite harsh sentences, these men remain influential, saints or sinner. India's godmen under fire. Welcome to our channel where truth and awareness comes before myths and blind worship. Today's episode exposes a dark side behind the supposed sanctity of spiritual leaders, focusing on the shocking case of Delhi's self-styled godman Swami Chaitanyananda Saraswati. Join us as we unravel allegations and disturbing revelations from inside Sri Sharda Institute of Indian Management, a case that raises tough questions about faith, trust, and the reality of predatory power. If you want more hard-hitting truth content about India's hidden scandals, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story. The shocking case, a spiritual leader or predator. On October 2025, headlines rocked India.
In India's national capital, New Delhi, self-styled godman Swami Chaitanyananda Saraswati is now facing serious allegations of molesting female students.
From the proceedings involving Chaitanyananda Saraswati, the accused in the serial molestation case in Delhi.
The molester Baba's obscene chats have now been accessed.
Swami Chaitanyananda Saraswati, a revered Baba heading an institute in Delhi's plush Vasant Kunj, was arrested for sexual harassment and assault. But was this a recent case? No, the reality is far worse. According to former students and residents, Chaitanyananda's predatory actions began long before the arrest and viral news stories. Let's take you inside the institute and into the lives affected by this self-styled godman. The beginnings, promises of spiritual guidance. In 2016, hopeful students joined Sri Sharda Institute of Indian Management, trusting that an ascetic trustee, a sannyasi, would guide them with wisdom, values, and genuine care. When parents hear the word spiritual leader, most think of safe surroundings, morals, and the right guidance for their children. But the truth, he was anything but, says a former student. The special treatment, separate rooms, and controlled contact. Here's what really went on inside the institute. Students targeted by Chaitanyananda were given separate rooms packed with extra facilities and privileges. He personally took away their phones, replacing them with expensive devices from BlackBerry to iPhones. Why? So he had complete control over who could they contact. They were forbidden from talking to family and relatives, creating an atmosphere of isolation and dependency. Chaitanyananda would invite favored students, mostly women, to fancy events, make them class leaders and reward them with luxury, all with exercising disturbing control. Student testimony, how the Baba targeted his own. A former student reminds us people living in the area knew about this harassment, but the parents, they thought a Baba's institute would mean the right values. That was a myth. One of his close friends, also a student in 2016, was targeted. She was invited to expensive hotel dinners and lunches, offered solo internships abroad, and promised the world until the catch was revealed. When things felt off, he was given just 3 days to leave the institute. With help from caring friends, she escaped, later filing a first information report, which is FIR, against Chaitanyananda. This proves the pattern: isolation, coercion, and then cover up. The culture of silence, intimidation, and aggression. Whether it was with students or staff, his behavior was never good. Aggression was common, random outbursts happened frequently, and salaries were often withheld. States the ex-student. What's even scarier is the role of insider women, the wardens and associate dean, charged with helping Chaitanyananda facilitate his crime. 2 wardens and associate dean convinced men to comply and were allegedly involved in tampering with evidence. These aides used their authority to recruit and motivate girls, taking them directly to Chaitanyananda for his twisted preferences. Sexual abuse and the Dubai connection. Investigations have uncovered chilling chats linking Chaitanyananda to possible sex trafficking networks. He told a student about a Dubai sheikh needing a sex partner and asked if he had any nice friend. Dubai and UAE connections appear frequently, with people from Dubai visiting the institute and Chaitanyananda referencing these countries in his conversations. Though details of an organized racket remain under probe, these little doubt these connections went far beyond spiritual guidance. The scale of abuse: 17 women have come forward. In August, the shocking scale emerged. At least 17 women accused the Baba of sexual harassment. His arrest followed months on the run, but the damage had been inflicted over almost a decade, hidden by layers of influence and fear. 3 insiders aides to his abuse have also been arrested for evidence tampering and manipulating targets. But is justice coming soon, or will it drag on like other infamous godman cases? The broader issue. When Baba means lost innocence, India is a country where thousands still worship self-proclaimed godmen, believing in miracles and values without questioning accountability. The Chaitanyananda case is not alone. Let's not forget notorious names. Asaram Bapu, once revered, now infamous after multiple rape convictions, yet still receives devotion from a segment of followers. Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh, worshipped with cult-like fervor, only to reveal serial sexual assaults and abductions. And what happened to them? Despite harsh sentences, these men remain influential, often out on bail, roaming free and protected by loyalists and legal loopholes. What is the cost of this blind faith? Spirituality should heal and guide, but cases like this prove that blind faith is dangerous. When honest questions and safety are dismissed, parents trust spiritual leaders with their children, unaware that predators often wear saffron too. Many survivors never get justice. Harassment, rape, molestation, these words reoccur in every big godman scandal. Even as the public grows more aware, loopholes in the legal system and immense influence often mean delayed or denied justice. Survivors and their families often face threats, social stigma, and isolation. So how do you protect yourself? What can you do? Here's what everyone should remember. Verify the background of spiritual leaders and the institutions that claim to offer spiritual values. Talk openly with children about suspicious behavior, cult tactics, and manipulations. Support survivors, demand accountability, and push for stronger legal reforms to end impurity for high-profile predators. If you or anyone you know has been affected by abuse in educational or religious institutions, seek help and don't let silence be the answer. Contact legal authorities, survivor support groups, or trusted journalists. Share this video to spread awareness and comment below with your thoughts and experiences. Your story can save someone from falling into the same trap. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more in-depth investigations, survivor interviews, and real-time updates on justice served. Thank you for watching. This was Spiritual Leader or Predator: Shocking Revelations from Chaitanyananda case. Until next time, stay safe, ask questions, and keep challenging blind faith with truth and awareness.